It's a beautiful day in our neighborhood here in the Tulsa World podcast that some of us call Fred. Welcome, one and all. I'm here with my colleagues, the lovely and talented Jimmie Tramel and the lovelier and talented Grace Wood, to talk about things going on in the world of culture, both high and low, and some things that went high and low a lot. Jimmie, you alerted us to some somewhat sad news in the world of theme parks the other day. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, is there such a thing as a moment of silence for a roller coaster since they're so loud anyway? Maybe you have a moment of loudness for the roller coaster. I don't know. You never know what will hit with viewers, but we had a story that Silver Dollar City is shutting down Fire in the Hole, the indoor roller coaster, this season. It'll be the last year, 2023, for Fire in the Hole, and then it's going away, replaced by, who knows what. But it struck a nerve with a lot of readers who obviously have gone to Silver Dollar City over the years and have ridden this thing. It is the only roller coaster at Silver Dollar City that I will ride. I don't like the other big, giant, scary things. I have ridden Fire in the Hole.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Grace?
Yeah, it struck me reading your story, Jimmie. I might have been, one of the last people to ride Fire in the Hole because I rode it last month when I went with my friends. So I was really sad to hear about the news. I didn't even realize they were.
You still can this year. This upcoming season will be the last one.
Oh,
so you can still
gotcha.
So you can time it right and still be the last one to ride it.
Okay. Good to know. I'll have to make another trip. But yeah, I go to Silver Dollar City like once a year with some of my friends from middle school. We do like a little reunion trip every year. So yeah, very fond of Fire in the Hole.
So we've given you a purpose for this year. Something to look forward to. Well, you all probably wrote it knowing what it was before you went in. I first went on it in 1972, the year that it opened. And I remember, the free map at the time was a little threefold brochure, and it was kind of, drawn. It wasn't a photography, but they just had, toward the back, new for 72, Fire in the Hole. That's all that said about it. So we decided to go there as a family, and we're trying all the stuff. And we get to Fire in the Hole, and there's no really mention. It's just Fire in the Hole, And so we pay or do whatever you need to do to get in line, and we're the next ones in line, and we see the people in front of us get in, and they're all excited, and composed, and then they go off, and then a few seconds later this next group come in, and they're just sprawled out, eyes bugged, and my mother is not a fan of things that go fast. I'll put it that way. Mm-hmm. And when the next car goes by and the people come out, and they're, a little weak-kneed, and they put us in there. I'm in the seat with my mother, my sister, and my father in the seat in front of us. I think we were in the front car, and my mom, because I remember my arms weren't long enough to grab the handrail that was in the front. But anyway, when they clamped the bar over, our legs, my mother goes, "Wait a minute, is this a roller coaster?" And we were off. And it was rather astonishing for not knowing what you were getting into. I mean, if you know you're going to be on a roller coaster, that's one thing, but we had no idea what this was. And it was a wild thing for a 11-year-old. And and his roller coaster phobic mother. So my sister and my dad had a great time. I mean, they were up in the front screaming "wee" every moment they could. So, but so yeah, that was our fire in the hole moment. So I don't think the times that we went back as a family, I don't think we ever rode it again. Because it just traumatized mom too much.
Grace, do you ride all the big, scary, dangerous rides or no?
Yes, yeah, I usually do. When I go with my friends, we try to ride every single ride that they have.
You can
What are your favorite? What are
take
your
my
favorites?
place.
What are your favorites of what they have now? Because I know they've got some pretty spectacular things up there.
Yeah, I think my all-time favorite is probably Wildfire. I love that one. I once rode it 6 times in a row because I was there with my friends, and every single time you kind of go down like the little part before it shoots you back up in a circle, they take like a picture of you. So me and my friends would all sit in a row and try to spell out different things with our hands, like love, or we'd all do like hearts and stuff like that. So we did it 6 times in a row trying to get it right. So I think, yeah, Wildfire is my favorite.
Ah,
dear, the halcyon days of youth. I mean,
yeah, I think James and I are just going to take your word on that it goes down and up, and we're good.
I don't think I don't have the present. Don't think I would have the presence of mind to be there doing sign language. That would involve letting go of handholds and. So I do. Although I must say, a good log flume ride is always fun. But yeah, I'm not. I've had too many sketchy experiences on carnival rides. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
What about food?
Well, for those of you who go there often, other than the rides, what do you go for to Silver Dollar City? What are the other things that you have to do for your Silver Dollar City experience to be complete?
I prefer going in the Christmas season. I just like it better. It's not blazing hot. You're not burning up in July or August, and it just has a different vibe with it lit up for Christmas and all that good stuff.
They do light it up, that's for sure.
They do. I always like going for the food. One of my all-time best quotes from my best friend Claire is, we were going around trying all the different food, like the apple dumplings and the like sweet potato slices with the marshmallow sauce that are so good. And I think it was my friend Paisley was like, "Oh, Claire, I'm not hungry anymore. Like, I can't do it. No more food." And Claire just whips around and she goes, "You got to learn to eat when you're not hungry, Paisley." So that's a quote that always lives in my head when we go there. But yeah, the food there, I think, is one of the best parts.
How about you, Jimmie? Or do you get there often? Or is that not on your itinerary of vacation spots?
Went there more often when my kids were younger. Not so much anymore, but they rode the rides. I was all in it for the food, like Grace. I mean, I've learned to eat when I'm not hungry. I mean, it's no problem.
Tell me about it as somebody who has to eat for a living.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I just one of the places that we'll be writing about soon is Nomad Barbecue Deli, which is at 31st and Harvard. That is very, very good. So, and that was lunch after a gigantic dinner at another place last night. So first world problems, that's definitely the case. So
taking one for the team again. How about that?
Oh yeah, it's a tasty job, but somebody has to do it. Speaking of jobs that we have to do, we also have to write things that go into the Tulsa World, which is available at fine retailers everywhere and at tulsaworld.com. What have you got coming up for this week, Grace?
This weekend I have an update on the Thompson Mansion in Inola. For those who don't know, it's this massive estate on 28 acres, 23,000 square feet. And the home went on the market, I think it was last April, for $8 million. And it's still on the market now, but with a really significant price reduction. So I have an update on that home, and I spoke with the realtor who's listing it, just kind of about what's going on, what he foresees for the future of the listing. So that'll come out this Saturday.
What are some of the more unusual things? I'm sorry, what were some of the more unusual things about the house itself?
Well, just besides the fact that it's massive, I think it has 11 bedrooms. One thing I noticed is in one of the bedrooms, there's a large bathtub just in the middle of the bedroom on carpet, which I thought was interesting. And there's also a 35,000 gallon indoor saltwater pool. So it's definitely interesting.
James, if you're ever on 412, which is right off the highway, I'm sure you'd recognize it if you saw it.
I probably have seen it just from a distance, but even probably though with the price cut, I have a feeling it's probably a little more than I want to pay. Although the idea of sleeping in a different bedroom every day of the week would be interesting. But anyway, what have you got coming up, Jimmie, for this weekend?
Well, the Daryl Starbird Car Show is back in Tulsa this weekend at the fairgrounds. It's actually Candyland at Fairgrounds weekend because you've got so much stuff going on with the Vintage Tulsa Show is there. The flea market is never 2 days, but it's 2 days this weekend because Vintage Tulsa Show is same weekend, I assume, but it is 2 days. And then Daryl Starbird Car Show. We have some pop culture guests. We have Butch Patrick, who is Eddie Munster in the Munsters. We have some car builders, and we have Candy Clark, an actress who was in American Graffiti 50 years ago. So Friday, I will have an interview with Candy Clark about American Graffiti turning 50 and why people love it. And then Saturday, we'll have a profile on a filmmaker, Doug Claiborne, who produced Rumblefish, started out on Apocalypse Now, and just has a long career of credits, and also has something really cool coming up at Circle Cinema.
I saw a TV ad for the Daryl Starbird show, and I remember thinking, it kind of looks like my old case of Hot Wheels cars come to life with some of the concept and the Candyland. I mean, everything everything was rather candy colored that they were showing on the thing. Well, if you're wondering why the Tulsa Driller has suddenly put on a black and white striped T-shirt, it is because Philbrook is about to open Rembrandt to Monet, an exhibit of works from the Joslin Museum, and I'm sorry, I forget where that is originally from. But it's their big spring show. It will actually open February 22nd on a Wednesday, but they've got the Driller. I saw them painting the black striped shirt, and they may try to turn his helmet into a beret for all I know. But we'll have a thing on that on Sunday. And as we said, if you're into barbecue, we're going to talk about Nomad's Deli, and with Mardi Gras coming up, we also have a review of Bourbon Street Cafe, and you can also find Grace's comprehensive list of all things Mardi Gras around town in the Tulsa world. So check all that out. Thank you all for putting up with us for as long as you have. We'll wish you good night and have a pleasant tomorrow.